Hey guys, what's up? Your boy Honest Blade back with you another KOF related video, and I want to discuss something today. It's gonna be more good than bad, so this is not a rant video per se, but I will say some things that I left out of my original rant, plus some of the good things I'm gonna talk about King of Fighters. This is made by King of Fighters 15, but the gameplay you see here will be a mixture of King of Fighters 2003 and King of Fighters 14. Anyway, let's get started. First, I want to say something about the graphics. I fully agree. While King of Fighters 15's graphics does need a little bit more polishing, I must say it looks damn good so far, and it minds a few like shadow issues and fixing up some of the color details of a character. I think SK did a really good job with King of Fighters 15 as of now. I mean, of course it needs work. I'm glad it's far from finished with it, but I definitely want to say the graphics has definitely stepped it up from the way it started from King of Fighters 14 to Samurai Showdown for that matter, and along with King of Fighters 15, which is still being developed now. So while the graphics aren't perfect, I gotta say SK did a wonderful job with King of Fighters 15 so far, in my personal opinion. And if you feel different, that's okay, but do understand they are a much smaller company, and this company is still learning how to make 3D look good to their core audience, and plus to bring in new people as well. So while it's not like Guilty Gear as people love so much, which is not me hating on Guilty Gear, because I too like Guilty Gear, but I don't want King of Fighters to ever look like that, ever. And on Street Fighter 5 is far from perfect. It does look it's a nice beautiful game too, especially for certain characters as well in that game. But overall, I think King of Fighters 15 is shaped up to be a really nice game to look at. Plus, you gotta remember, SK is gonna give us a pretty good roster, because after the Andy and Joe trailer, it's painfully obvious, which is a good and bad thing, that they're using assets for King of Fighters 14 so they can have a pretty stable roster for people to play with, like they did with King of Fighters 14. But I know big rosters aren't everything to people, and I know a lot of people do cherish graphics, but I'm one of those people personally. If a game plays well and you can do what you want in the game has a lot to go on with it, like arcade mode, story, survival, time attack, gallery mode, play with your friends, play against a computer, and all of those things that make the game interesting outside of just online and good netcode, which is a topic I'm going to get into in a second. I'm not one of those people, and I'm speaking for myself here, that's like, the game gotta be beautiful, it gotta like shit gold. No, once it's something that you can enjoy, and the characters look good, like the people who made the characters, like they put effort behind them, that's all I look for in a video game. In general, not just fighting games, any kind of game I look at. Once I saw there was effort there, I don't expect perfection, but I want to see that you care about the product you're making. That's all. Next, I want to talk about rollback, and I made a video about this way before, so I'm going to make it brief. I'm glad that, and rollback's necessary. Before we get into the topic, I'm not one of those people like, oh, F rollback, motherfuckers need to act like rollback's the all be all, because know what, it is. But there's a way you go about things. I did not like how SK was kind of bullied into announcing that they had rollback sooner than necessary. I'd rather them work on the game more and tell us before, maybe like a month or two before the game came out, hey guys, this game's going to include rollback, or at least when more than half the roster was rebuilt. We still only got, what, I want to say 10 characters: Kyo Iori, K-Dash, Shune, Meitaku, Benimaru, Chezuru, Mai, Leona. 9 characters, 9 to 10 I think characters we built for King of Fighters 15 so far. And we know it's more coming, thank God, because I'm that person I've been through it with the category builds. Also Annie and Joe, so like what, 10, 11 characters we know about so far. So I really feel like people rush SK to announce the rollback, but I'm glad it's there, and I hope for all the people who were bitching about rollback in a negative way, that they're going to actually play the game once it comes out. I really hope so, because you know you're going to push the issue, oh, have rollback, because it is necessary. But there's a way to go about things, and I just don't like how many people were about it. But I'm glad it's coming, and I'm glad it's there. Now the next topic I want to talk about is the characters. And this is kind of hard, because I got to watch out for being completely selfish and talk about what I want versus what I think generally needs to be done for character reveals. First of all, the weekly character reveals, don't get me wrong, it was fun at the beginning, but I do feel it's a little slow, because you only get to see one character a week, and especially the character you always seen in previous King of Fighters games. There's not much to talk about, like, oh, so return, that's nice, and you kind of expected to see so anyways. So I'm hoping after Team Fatal Fury's out the way that SK starts, like, you know, give us something to talk about in terms of character rebuilds, because right now it's very lackluster, and I can't say I'm crazy about like the rebuilds. Like after Chesru, don't get me wrong, I'm happy to see veteran characters. It would be King of Fighters Valkyrio, Iori, Benimaru, Mai Shiranui, K-Dash. It would just feel weird. I don't care how the whole roster, a bunch of cool characters I love. You give me Min Youngberg, Leon Neville, Zarina, but you leave out in those veteran characters that make KOF feel like KOF. It would just be super weird to me, and I wouldn't like that. But at the same time, you do got to mix up with the rebuilds. Again, they're getting stale, and I have friends. Now, I understand me and my friends are probably a more minority of those who are not happy with the King of Fighters rebuilds as of late. But I do feel that SK got to really step up and bring the interest in. So I'm hoping with the next couple of weeks that, we'll start seeing some more fresh faces or characters who are making their second appearance in King Fighters fits in the King of Fighters game in general. Not the characters who's been in like 7, 8, 10 of them already. Next, I hope they show more stages off. I hope they show more character interactions, explain the mechanics, because I know a lot of people are kind of left in the dark about how the game's going to play. We do know there's going to be able to do EX moves outside of max mode, which is fantastic, because I did like that by King of Fighters 13. But it's not really clear right now what is different between King of Fighters 15 in terms of gameplay than King of Fighters 14. And I also want to speak about difficulty. As someone who just got done playing King of Fighters 2003 before making this video, I noticed that it's a lot easier for me to play King of Fighters 14 than was King of Fighters 2003. I don't know why I said 13, forgive me. I like that, over the years that SK has tried to make King of Fighters simplified. And when people say, oh, King of Fighters is hard, I ask them, what King of Fighters game are you playing? Because they're not all hard to play, baby. There's some King of Fighters games that are pretty easy to get into. That would say are easier than Tekken and Street Fighter. And then some King of Fighters games like King of Fighters 2002 Unlimited Max that is for more advanced players. Not saying that you can't learn it if you're just starting the game, but it is more advanced to learn compared to King of Fighters 14, or I would even say maybe King of Fighters 2000. No, not King of Fighters. King of Fighters 13. I meant to say. It took me a second to think of what I wanted to say. Sometimes I gotta watch how I could talk so fast. But I don't like the fact that people are like, oh, I don't play KOF because it's hard. I feel like, every kind of game is hard until you actually take the time to sit down and learn it. And unless you're going to enter a tournament of a game, you don't have to be a master of the game, more as you understand the game to the point you are going to have fun in it. That's maybe me. I've always been the kind of person, if I at least had fun in the game, I didn't need to know the max combos, the badass combos. I just want to know, can I enjoy the game? And I love the story and the gameplay. Can I at least do something with the game? And if I was able to do that, that was successful. And I think a lot of people should be the same way. So please don't let the idea of King of Fighters being hard deter you from playing the game. It's a really beautiful game. Anyways, guys, that's all I wanted to say. For now, peace and take care. God bless. And until next time, enjoy the video. Bye.